Open bar. Open bar.
Open bar.
Open bar. Open bar. All right, people, welcome to Open Bar.
Yo.
We got Letty,
Hey, what's up?
Snoop.
Snoop fan first. This is our first official podcast. We taking it to the next level now. We're gonna start recording them. We got our boy ICEWATERFILM all the way from Cali. Blessing us as our first guest on the show.
Welcome, Ice. Welcome,
It's
Ice.
good. Pleasure to be here.
You already know, man. So Ice, man, you know I've been a big fan of yours for a very, very long time, and you're one of the guys in the game that a lot of people don't know, but they should know.
Most
So,
definitely.
you know, this is one of the platforms where we want you to get your story out. Let people know who you are, your intentions in the game, your plans, your goals, short term, long term, etc. So I just wanted to start this off. Basically, want to introduce yourself, let people know how long you've been in the game, when you started, where you from, etc.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm 27. I've been doing calisthenics since I was 16. So I've been doing calisthenics since I was 16. I'll say about 8 years with injuries, shit like that, But my brother actually got me into calisthenics when I was like in 3rd grade. As far as like doing push-ups, because he was a wrestler.
Nice.
Okay.
My other brother was into karate, so there was a lot of martial arts going on. So we were always doing like body weight stuff.
Dope.
Right, and they moved away and I lost motivation to work out, so I got back into it when I was like 16. And for the first 2 years, I was mixing a little weighted with it. I was doing weights and calisthenics.
Typical, yeah.
Until, I was like 18, it was just strictly calisthenics. So yeah.
Okay, that's dope.
what's up.
So where you from?
San Francisco.
Born and raised?
Born and raised, yep.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
Cali.
How did you in working out? How did you find your what they would call what they would say is a calling? How did you know that this is what you wanted to do? Because you said you played around with weights a little bit in calisthenics. How did you know that calisthenics is the direction you wanted to go straight ahead in with the workout thing?
I think it was because I always do push-ups made you real strong.
Yeah,
And
the typical.
I was always like a little dude, still am, but even in elementary school, I was real strong, and it was because I was able to do the most push-ups. When I was in high school with my PE class, I was always able to do the most push-ups, sit-ups, but it really was the fulfillment it gave me, because I've done other things, and this really stuck with me, and it was more of it's a lot more than passion. It keeps me sane because I've dealt with depression, OCD, anxiety, and this was my getaway for all those things to temporarily go away, because they come and go because that's life.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
So you've been saying that you pretty much were doing it for 8 years with injuries.
Yeah, well, I never really got injured until this past year.
Okay.
So I'll take a whole year out. Right, I was out this year for 10 months. I'm still injured.
Yeah.
I get my surgery for my shoulder in January, and after that I'll be out for 6 weeks, and then it's therapy, and I'm pretty much back 100%.
Okay, so let's fast forward a bit to more recent stuff. So like I said, I know you personally, so I know more of your story.
Right.
So you come into, let's just fast forward to 2015. 2015 is when you came to PUBG.
Right.
2016.
2016, my fault.
It was 2016.
2015, I joined the Barbarians
Yeah.
in the
I
summer.
want to get into that as well
Yeah.
later.
Okay, so let's touch that first.
So how did you? So Zeph is the head of Barbarians.
Yeah.
How did you know that that's where you wanted to be? What drew you to Barbarians?
So when I started doing calisthenics, I was doing it before I knew there was all these guys on YouTube posting
Definitely.
videos, and then when I was doing it, I started going on YouTube, just searching workout videos, just because I didn't have any guidance as far as I was the only one in my city that
was doing
it,
yeah,
and it was real hard, and And but I ran into guys like Zeph on YouTube. You know, it was
Shout
Docs.
out to Zeph, by the way.
Yeah, shout
Right.
out to the GOAT. Yeah.
General.
But I ran into Doc's You Gotta See This
Okay.
channel where he had like a lot of athletes.
Mm.
And I ran into Zeph about 2000.
You said Doc's
Yeah, Doc's channel.
director of calisthenics, Doc.
Yeah,
From Brooklyn.
yeah. From
Okay.
Big
Brooklyn.
shout out to Doc as well
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
One of
touch
the
on that too.
pioneers.
Yeah,
The DLC.
yeah, man.
Where was I?
You ran into his channel.
Yeah,
I ran into his channel, and I seen Zeph. I see, you know, and as soon as I seen his style, as far as just how clean and
Yeah.
and the quality and the control, I was instantly like drawn to that.
Okay.
So would you consider the Barbarians one of the strongest teams out there?
Yeah, I would consider Barbarians the strongest team.
now tell us a
100%.
little bit more why. Because is it the style of training, or what separates Barbarians, in your eyes, in your opinion, from a lot of other teams that's out there?
You know, besides the physical part, because a lot of people think, you know, a lot of people could be strong. You know, you could be strong, you know, today, tomorrow,
Definitely.
you fall off. You know, I think it's the mental strength. And, you know, as for myself, like, that is like the number one, like, asset you have to have
In this game.
in this game.
I respect that.
You know what I mean? And yeah. pretty
So
much.
so not to keep rambling on it, but the style of workout that Barbarians do, is it more high endurance, high reps workouts? You happen to have, which is I think is one of the most insane because you guys do things as like 5-minute drills, things like that. So you happen to have one of the most, I think, coldest, I would say, examples of that. You know, so tell us about that. How did you get to do 50 pull-ups into 100 push-ups like it's nothing?
Unbroken.
Yeah, and this is not, you know, doing 10 getting off the bar. This is 50 straight, people. We're talking 50 straight down to the floor into 100. How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Barbarians, I'm going to say Zeph, because he pioneered, like, all this kind of training. You know, he was doing 50 pull-ups back in 2012.
Yeah, I remember his
you know what I
concept,
mean?
man. I remember that.
You know what I mean? But like I said, when I got into the game, it was like a lot of trial and error. You know what I mean? So at first, you know, I always worked out. You know, even though I was, you know, messing with, like, you know, freestyle for a little bit, you know, handstands and stuff like that. But I was always working out, you know, as far as like doing sets and doing reps. And, you know, I mean, like, I've put so much work that like nobody seen except like my day one homies. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah.
You know, when I met Zeph, you know, I was at, you know, I don't know what level, I'm not gonna say, you know, I was at over here, you know, but I felt like I was pretty strong, and I seen I was keeping up with like a lot of the scene in New York, and I was like, okay, I know I can compete with these guys 100%.
So,
you know what I mean?
So to touch on what you just said, run me through your first meetup with Zeph. So how was that for you, you know, watching someone on YouTube to actually sharing a bar, sharing a set with that person? Like, because, you know, we, like, in this game, there's a lot of people that look one way but rep another. So describe your first link up with Zeph.
Yeah, so first link up was the summer, it was August 2015. And, you know, I talked to Zeph probably twice, you know, prior to that, just like on Facebook. I used to send him my videos to check out. And, you know, one time he didn't respond. I was like, oh, man. I was like,
so
he read my shit. He read my message.
Very little words.
He didn't respond. And then, you know, because my sets were always like inspired by him, you know, and, you know, he responded to one set and I was like, all right, cool. And, you know, Zeph was one guy that I studied like crazy as far as all the pioneers, you know, but Zeph, like I said, to me, he's like the Don Dada, so he's the Jordan of the game, and I was always just studying him. I used to be at parties, you know, all my boys was, you know, fucking with bitches and doing all this shit. I was really dedicated to my craft, and still am to this day, you know, even more hungrier. But, you know, I met him August 2015. He put a post on Instagram saying he was coming to San Francisco, for like 2 days.
Okay.
Just you know, and then I was like, oh shit, this could be my chance. So
Yeah.
I hit him, and then you know he was hella cool. He told me, you know, yeah, let's meet up here, and then I met up, and it was only like 3 of us. You know, it was me, Zeph. I brought my boy Jude, and then it was
Jude.
Excalibur,
Yeah.
and then and that's it. And we met, and then that was like the life-changing day right there, 100%.
Yeah,
So-
that's on your YouTube.
That's on my
Yeah.
For the people
Yeah.
people watching
Oh,
that
yeah.
want to check that out.
Yeah, give them your YouTube, man. Tell them, you know, how
Yeah, we
to,
gonna put it in there.
and the links.
ICEWATERFILM. YouTube.
ICEWATERFILM.
Perfect.
ICEWATERFILM.
Yeah, check out some of his stuff, man. So from seeing Zeph on like the, you know, YouTube and all those other things, he's one of those type of guys that, you know, he has this way, like, you're like, man, I hope I impress this guy. Like,
Of course.
how did it feel being around him, you know, in person as opposed to like seeing him on YouTube and things like that? What was their interaction like?
It was dope, you know, like right when I met him, like I was hyped, and I wasn't even training a lot though that summer
Uh-huh.
because I dealt with like some kind of sprain, and I was kind of taking it easy. I wasn't really like, I didn't feel like I was real in good shape.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
at that point, it's like if Zeph's right there, it's like you
gotta
ain't,
do
you know,
what you gotta do.
you gotta
yeah,
man the fuck up.
make it happen.
So the first thing I said, I met him, he was hella cool, and then I was like, so what's up, what we doing? And then he was like laughing, he was like, okay, and then we went straight to the push-up bar, and then we was doing this routine and for push-ups, and it was life-changing, man. It was real
Oh,
dope.
that's perfect. That's cool.
So fast forward now a year later, you know, you go from Zeph coming to Cali to meet you in San Fran.
Right.
How did you transition into becoming a Barbarian after that?
Well,
Yeah, how does that work? Not to cut you off, but like
Yeah.
you guys do like a requirement, right?
yeah, there's the Barbarian requirements.
Yeah, tell us a little about that, like, you know, some details on that.
So, you know, when I met him, worked out, shit was dope. And then after, I told him, I was like, hey man, I want to send you my requirements.
Mhm.
Because I would have never ever been a Barbarian if I didn't meet Zeph. Just because of how low key I am.
Yeah.
And
You know, and-
what's the requirement again?
The requirements is 5 muscle ups, 50 dips, 30 pull ups, 60 push ups, and 5 muscle ups within 5 minutes, all unbroken.
5 exercises in 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes, all unbroken.
How did you actually like train yourself
Yeah.
to do that?
Honestly, like I was following the Barbarians for a few years before I met Zeph, that, you know, which is why I knew of him. And I started noticing a lot of other dudes on the team. I was noticing they was traveling, competing, and I was like, damn, I was like, this is something that I would love to do, you know?
Mhm.
But I was like in my room just working out, going crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still have that mentality to this day. You know, I still want to always be the underdog. I still want to always be underground. You know what I mean? Because it
That's
humbles
very
it humbles
interesting,
me,
yeah.
of course. And but I was like, when I met him, in my mind I was like, all right, I gotta be a Barbarian now. After we worked out, because you know he was impressed. I was impressed with how I've done. You know, and he was pretty much telling me. I told him, you know, I want to send you the requirements, and like 3 days later, I sent him my requirements, and because I already done it so many times without anybody
Yeah.
knowing.
So you-
So I was ready. You know what I mean? And you know, when I sent it to him, he was like, okay, good. He was like, you know, send one more video, and you know, it's official. And then like, I think the next day later, I sent him another video of me doing it.
It took this man 3 days.
First of all,
That shit took me 3.5 years.
right? That's what I
He
mean.
did it in 3 days.
That's crazy.
So
Levels.
if the
Levels.
if calisthenics were a rap game, what crew would Barbarians be? Like, what team would
Oh,
Barbarians
wow,
be to
okay.
you?
To me,
Yeah. NWA,
Right
'cause you
now-
from Cali?
man, NW. Oh man, I say, hey, nah. For me, from being Cali, I say we the death row.
Okay. I
Labor,
think
man.
I'll dig that.
Z is Shug.
Yeah, that was the workout. You should have done the workout.
I mean, you know, respect. You know, much love and respect to everybody who does calisthenics, because it's just
Yeah, definitely.
promoting. You know, everybody. You know, and it's all about love. You know, but at the end of the day, it's all about competition. You know, and
Right.
and I'm, you know, no one's in this to be average. You know, We all want to be great, but you know, you can't. You know, the road to greatness isn't just like one path. You know, it's not just like, okay, every single day I'm dedicated, I'm gonna get stronger. Nah, there's so much shit, because if that was the case, there'll be a lot of Jordans. You know, there'll be a lot of Kobe's.
Right. A lot of LeBrons. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Somebody got to be Ron Harper.
Yeah, man.
Since you brought up, you know, being that there's competition out there, who would you see yourself matched up against, if you had to say?
Okay, so I this question you can't just ask her like you gotta
set me up.
You gotta throw some like pepper on the grill with that.
You gotta throw it out there.
She's pretty much, I guess you're trying to ask him like if he were to like when he decides to compete and stuff like that. Who do you think would be like a great matchup?
He has competed though.
Well, again, I should say.
PUBG.
Yeah, you did. Like if you were to battle, battle. So if you were to battle anyone, who do you think you would be a good matchup against?
You know, I'm kind of in this weird phase where I'm injured and I have a lot of this built up rage and anger.
Definitely.
On like everybody, you know, even
anybody.
But you know, it's crazy because like the Barbarians, it's like we really have like the strongest people like in the world. You know, you got Javi in Spain, you got Sergio in Italy. You know, there's so many
international. Like that's the thing about with Barbarians.
It's an international workout team, and it's a family. It's a brotherhood. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Indeed.
But as far as who would I see myself compete, I don't know. Like I'll just let everybody else decide.
Right.
But you know, I definitely do want to.
Humbly, who do you think you'd be a good matchup against? Humbly.
Oh man, it's
in your eyes, who do you think?
I mean, it's crazy because I would say somebody from the Barbarians.
Right.
You know, because I don't want to. To me, it's like you're only as good as who you beat. So I'm not gonna just say a name.
Technically, you guys kind of compete a lot.
We do it,
but we compete a lot. That's what I'm saying. Right. So it's kind of hard. Like me and Sergio, we go at it in the chat.
Right.
You know, but
humbly though, bro, who do you think?
So do you see yourself?
I'm gonna let y'all decide on that.
Warlord Ice, man.
Do you see yourself? Because you competed back in 2016.
Yeah.
You did PUBG. So shout out to Red, shout out to Keith.
Big shout out.
You know, that's one of the biggest events of the
Keith
year.
was just on here too, man.
You know, my boy Ice came up in 2016 and cleaned house, and everybody was just left shocked, like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, no one even knew who this man was, and he came in first place, everything. I think the only thing you lost was what, like squats or push-ups?
I lost the push-ups.
Okay, so do you see yourself? How did the New York scene, from someone from California, just watching the game through a cell phone, through an IG, you actually coming to New York and seeing the scene firsthand, competing against the scene, and dominating the scene? Like, was that something, like, describe that experience, and do you see yourself, once fully healed, competing again and battling again?
Yeah, seeing the scene, I had mixed emotions because, the game changes every year as far as the game gets stronger every year, right? So, routines that people used to do a year or two ago, everybody, a lot of people are starting to do it more, So, but me coming in 2016, it was a real dope experience. It was a real dope experience just to be able to compete, against other guys who love it as much as you do. But I think there's a lot of things that could have been done better as far as like people's form. Like I remember when I was doing push-ups,
touch on that.
There was a lot of guys on me, after they seen me do pull-ups and dips, and I was just like, oh man, like there was a lot of other guys who wasn't doing as clean. And then I got in my head, and towards the end I was fucking up my form. But I definitely wanna compete. Maybe this next summer, once I'm fully healed, I want to prove to myself like numbers I would like to get.
Right.
Because the numbers I got in 2016, those were like my worst numbers when I was training for it. So I just would like to go and pretty much clean house, but for myself, not to boast or brag. You know what I mean? Just for myself. That's it.
So to touch on competition, a lot of people don't know this, but you actually have a park out in California called the Ice Patch, and By the way, congratulations on
Yeah.
that. I think
Appreciate it.
that's
Thank you.
like
Definitely.
This
That's
man
big.
built a park.
a park in with his name, Ice. It's called
Built
the Ice
a
Patch.
park, bruh. Like,
So with that being said, you actually have a calisthenics park. It's a full calisthenics park. It has multiple pull-up bars, dip station, anything a calisthenics athlete could want. Do you see yourself hosting competitions in that park in the upcoming years?
Yeah, of course. Like hell yeah, that was the whole goal, because for me it was always like a dream to be able to build a calisthenic park. You know what I mean?
Tell the people like where it's located, how could they get there, and things like that. Because that, to me, I think that's big.
It's a beautiful park.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very, very beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very blessed. But it's in San Francisco, California, and it's like right under the freeway. The park is actually called Progress Park,
Okay.
but the fitness center is called the Ice Patch. You know, I'm gonna do like a mural over there of the Ice Patch with a Barbarian logo, everything. Maybe.
How did that come about? Were you just in your room one day and you was like, 103 push-ups? You know what? I think I need a park. How did that come about?
Nah, like there was a park there before,
Uh-huh.
but the bars were real shitty, and I was with a few of my homies, and this lady came up to us talking about, man, that bar looks real wobbly,
It is.
and then she was, because you know you've been there before, and she gave me this email of this lady. Shout out Julie. She runs like this nonprofit organization, and she funds
Great,
parks
that's cool.
around the city, and you know nobody's ever approached her about a fitness center. You know, she was like, out of all my years doing this, you were the first one to approach me, you know, to do a fitness center. So it took 2 years. She was fucking hard as fuck. You know, it took 2 years, but now it's dope. But like for me, like the park is real. It's mostly for the community, you know.
Yeah. Nice.
Because I don't want people to think, oh man, you need certain equipment to get to a next level. Because like when I started working out, I was, you know, in my fucking room. I was, you know, used to go to jungle gyms, you know, and
I had to wait for stuff sometimes.
yeah, man, I was fighting kids over the monkey bar and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, 2 years to make that happen.
I think that's really cool, man. For me, I feel like, you know, calisthenics is becoming so big, and you got a lot of people who, there's a lot of competitions out there now. So
Yeah.
to see, you know, certain guys host competitions would be a really good thing, like really, really good thing.
Yeah,
So
I wanna do it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
No, go
interrupt.
ahead.
I want to take my time and do it, just so it's done right, and it's something that I'm just like, man, this shit is real dope. It's definitely intimidating, you know, but it's a challenge. It's just another challenge, you know what I mean? And it just adds to the story and legacy, and that's it.
all right,
Being
so
that we're talking about the park and everything, that was a big accomplishment that you did. So big ups to that.
Thank you.
So you're the leader of the West Coast when it comes to the San Francisco chapter.
Yeah.
For the Barbarians.
The California chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The California chapter.
Nice. You guys like a motorcycle club, man.
Yeah, for real.
Right,
I like that.
Right. So you got a few people that you have around you that you help train and
Of
things
course,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. You got shout out. Well, Snoop and Ant actually got their gold wings the same
major
day.
congrats to those
my
guys.
boy Ant.
For sure.
Amazing.
Ant, where the camera at? Ant, what up, bro?
Yeah, and Ant, he's
Tell them the gold wings, you can't buy them shirts.
Nah,
you gotta
yeah,
earn
yeah,
those.
you definitely gotta-
So,
you
I
gotta-
tried.
They earn.
Yeah,
I tried.
I tried to bribe Z. He
I
was
tried.
like,
That wasn't with it.
But yeah, so I got Ant. He's now a Gold Wings member. He's the second, and you know the whole goal is to keep on building. You know, and you know once somebody gets gold, at least on my side, I'm kind of in this weird phase where I'm just like, okay, you know, because I don't want to, even though people look at to me as like a mentor or whatever the case is, to me, I'm just like, shit, I'm still trying to get it too.
Right.
So I'm in this weird phase where I'm just like, fuck, you know, I wanna help everybody out as much as I can, but this injury fucked me up mentally, you know, and when I come back, I really, really, really want to focus on myself because I have so much I want to do, you know. But like I said, man, I'm trying to expand the Barbarian chapter. Rep Zeph, Rep Andy, Jude, shout out to them.
Yeah, major shout out to
the
Andy
most.
and Jude.
Word, right?
Major shout out to them guys
So,
right there, man.
so you said that, you know, Barbarians is an international team. You know, it's brought you to New York. So what are some of the other places you've touched by working
Being
out,
a part of
being
it.
part of calisthenics? Where has calisthenics taken you so far?
I've been to Russia for
Nice.
calisthenics when I was 20 before I even met, you know. Yeah, I was.
A lot in there, people in there.
Where else we go? We go to Italy. Went to Italy. I feel like one more place. I think that's it.
Where did you
Did you go
first
to
touch with
Singapore?
the Barbarians?
No.
Okay.
I haven't been to Singapore yet.
Cool.
Where did you first touch with the Barbarians, with the whole crew? Where was your first destiny that
It was.
you guys ended?
It was in New York, but as far as working out, it was actually in London.
How did that go? They serve you guys tea?
It was real. Tea and crumpets. Nah, but it was real dope. Got to work out with some of the OGs over there. Shout out UKJ from London.
So
Jazz was there from Australia.
okay.
Miggs. I'm sure. I think he's from London, somewhere around there.
Yeah, Miggs is out there
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So
So when you
it was
go
dope.
out there, what do you do? Are you competing? Are you like teaching? Like what's the when you go overseas? Like what is the motive?
I'm definitely like an instructor now, and every single like place I've been to, I was an instructor, and it's fucking amazing as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm teaching with like Andy and guys I looked up to, and Zeph running the whole workshop. So it's real dope just to be able to travel and to actually learn, around your peers, and because this is something that I would like to do in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's surreal when your heroes become your peers, man. Like,
Yeah,
that's a
So
dream
it's
come
more
true,
brotherhood.
bro.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
I still look
And-
at these dudes like Andy and Jude.
And this is outside of
Zeph,
working
like,
out, too,
yo,
so-
like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
like, these dudes got my number saved in their phone.
Yeah. Those were your ultimate like
Yeah,
idols and
right?
motivations,
Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
Yeah.
that's definitely big, man. So I gotta talk about this.
Oh shit.
You're one of the only guys, aside from some of the veterans in the game. Like I always shout out to those guys, because if it weren't for those guys, a lot of people wouldn't be doing the things they're doing today. But you're one of the only guys who I've seen just get up and just drop 50 pull-ups. How in the heck, like what type of batteries do you use, man? What are you
Man.
using? How does that come about that you say, let me just go do 50, and then you do it like so effortlessly, man? Like what is like a day training with ice? What does that consist of? How many hours? Tell me a little something, man.
Yeah, don't give too much
Don't
gems
give-
away.
Yeah, I don't wanna get-
If you tell us.
Just a rough rundown of a training session with ice.
It depends like on my day. Sometimes I might do like an hour and a half in the morning, and I might do like another one during in the afternoon, and another one at night. Or sometimes it could just be 3 hours straight, 4 hours straight, 5 hours straight. And obviously I'm not working out for 5 hours straight.
Right,
You get
right.
what I'm saying? Like I'm definitely taking breaks.
You're a believer of working on your craft. I remember you said that once. You always said like, you got to put in time to work on your craft. I've seen you actually, and this is something you've put out there. This is not even a secret. You've put out there that you do things like 20 dips for like an hour or 2 hours straight. Who thinks of some stuff like that, man? You ain't got a girlfriend? I'm just like, that's some insane stuff, man. I respect it to the fullest. Like, how does that come about? Like, how did you come up with that, man?
Yeah, the On the Minutes was actually from Zeph and the Barbarians, where they implemented with the push-ups, 25
Right.
push-ups on the minute, So I wanted to do it with dips, and I was like, okay,
That was amazing, man.
Yeah.
But as far as like training, like to this day, like I really like study like calisthenics. Like I feel like me saying it, it's like a lot of people could say I'm real passionate,
Definitely.
But there's definitely levels mentally for the game as far as the physical part. You get what I'm saying? So for me to do certain things, like I just like it's like a 24/7 thing for me. Like it's really calisthenics is like 24/7 for me. It's like I don't know, like if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be doing some stupid shit.
You're one of the only guys, like, you would say, man, I'm injured, man. And then you turn around and you drop 50 and 100.
Yeah, say that again. Repeat that.
50 and 100. And
While
I'm
injured.
injured. And he's like, man.
Like a injury that requires surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to touch
This
on
ain't
that in a
I
minute
just
too as well.
sprained
For
my
sure.
something.
Yeah. He's
Something is
absolutely right.
ripped, torn.
Like surgery. And this is what a lot of people don't see, because you're not one of those guys who complain and make excuses about anything. I respect that.
Thank you.
And yeah, I wanted to know, like, how long have you said you've taken off 10 months, something like that around?
Yeah, I pretty much took like the whole year off. I started training again July. as far as doing slow movements, you know, and this injury that we're talking about, it happened 2017 in the summer.
Okay.
You know, and when it happened, I was working out for 2 weeks after it because I didn't know what it was. I was like, all right, it's just probably a sprain. Let me just shake it off. Then I took 2 months after that, in which was September. I started working out again. And then October, when Zeph and all the guys came out last year for one of the competitions, I injured it a week before they came out. I was doing this dip and push-up routine, and my shit was hurting real bad. You know, but I had to, and that was actually the day I did 50 pull-ups for the first time.
Jeez, man.
Oh, on live.
On live,
Yeah.
For sure.
At Meters Comp. Shout out to
at
Meter,
Meter,
man.
Shout out Meter, Knox Fit,
Yeah,
Real Calisthenics, all
Yeah,
them.
Real
Reps and sets,
Calisthenics
you know.
Collective.
So what is your diet like? Because a lot of people are on this like vegan wave, and you know, a lot of people saying, yeah, man, if I stop eating meat, I'm gonna be better than Ice. No, I'm just kidding. They already say that. So like, did you say shout out to the vegans?
Yeah.
To the plant-based.
We need them to.
Yeah, I fuck with everybody. Everybody's
Plant-based.
So do you think? So I'm guessing your diet. Not to say that you eat anything, but you're more like open with your dieting as far as what you eat. So does that mean like the workouts that you do keep you in that tip-top shape that you're able to pretty much like tear up some fried chicken and then go hit a 50 clip?
Yeah, I mean, for me, everybody's body works different.
Right,
you know,
right.
what I eat might not work for you. You know, I've tried. My girl's vegan. Some of my best friends are vegan. So I've tried it for a few weeks, and it's hard. And by the end of the day, it's not for me. You know, like if I ever decide to do it, like I'm gonna let it happen naturally than somebody telling me, yo, this is
Right,
bad for
yeah,
you. You know.
yeah, I
But
get
for
you.
me, you know, I try to stay away from pork, beef, but I do eat chicken. I eat, you know, sardines. I eat chicken liver.
Roscoe's
I
chicken
eat,
and waffle.
yeah,
right?
you know, I eat, but I try to stay away from sugar, and I've been eating clean for a really, really long time, since about like 2009.
Nice.
And I don't drink, I don't smoke, I never did. You know, here and there, I'll probably have some wine, you know, and I think that's why my body is in real good shape. I'm able to take so much time off and bounce back, and and a lot of it is just like the hours I put in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're not like this shit's not gonna just go away. You know what I mean?
So,
Most definitely.
all right, so let's get into
Thank you guys.
you know your opinion on a lot of these things. So basically,
Yeah.
you know, you said you've been studying the game for about 11 years or so. So who were your biggest influence? So who was your top 5? So we've asked every person on this show this.
Definitely.
Give me your top 5 present, currently. It could be people that's not doing it no more.
man,
Just
that's
your
hard.
top 5.
Okay.
And your top 5 legends after.
Oh, that's okay. I'll do present first.
Right.
Top 5 present. Zeph still. You know, because
Always.
Oh man.
you have to
the
realize,
alien, the
like,
alien.
you have to realize, sometimes, you know, being 20 years old, and this is no shade to anybody. This is just in
Right.
general, even to myself. You know, being a 20-year-old in the game or in your 20s, and you do 50 pull-ups or any kind of certain routine that takes years to do, it's very impressive. But to be able to still do that at 41 years old, that's the most
very,
impressive.
very,
So
yeah.
longevity, you know, it's kind of like a Kobe. You know, last game dropped 60 on him.
Yeah. I respect that.
For
man.
sure.
Shout out to the OGs still doing it, man.
Yeah,
big
yeah,
time, big time.
But, you know, so I'll say, you know, Zeph, obviously, Javi from Spain, Sergio, and this is no order.
Oh,
Obviously,
man.
Zeph is
Yeah,
up there. This is just, you know,
Yeah.
Javi from Spain, Sergio from Italy.
Those guys, man.
Um,
another level.
20.
Here we go
Both
to
of them
the
are
long
20.
Another level,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Shout out to
they're
them
young.
boys, man.
Big
Like,
time. Like, those
new
are like
era.
the biggest.
That's what we call Surge. New era.
Yeah, and we're gonna touch a little bit on that in a minute
So,
too.
that's
after.
3?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it at 3.
Keep it at 3.
I'm going to keep it at 3.
So
because
Zach, Surge, and Hobbs.
Yeah, because where I'm at now, I don't really get inspired off people who do calisthenics anymore, just because the game, to me, you know,
Okay.
it kind of gets
More
corny,
commercialized.
and it's, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, I look to like I'll watch a BMX documentary or some shit and be like, damn, I got the most inspiration. Then seeing somebody just do a set, you know what I mean?
Gotcha,
Even though it is
gotcha.
always mere motivation, but for me, that's how I work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep it at those 3. You know what I mean?
That's respectable.
And you know, but I respect everybody who.
yeah, definitely.
You know what I
Big
mean?
respect to everybody working out. Period, man. It's not easy.
For sure.
Yeah. And your 5 legends, please. I gotta hear this, man. This is-
So define legend for me.
right,
First.
right,
Like to you, because everyone has a
OGs.
different definition.
right.
What to you? What's a legend?
Legends are, to me, what it means. It's what you brought to the game, right? It's not just like, you know, being able to, you know, just cause you're an older OG in the game, you know, you can't, it doesn't make you a legend.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Just because you see somebody on the block like for years and years, if you ain't put in no work or what you actually brought to the table, then like I don't know, I can't call you a legend, you know.
Gotcha.
But top 5, that's hard, you know. Obviously Zeph, you know. I'm also gonna say technician,
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
legend. I would say
Shout
Doc.
out to Tech.
Big
Doc-
shout out to Doc.
Doc's a
man.
legend because you know you pioneered a lot of certain things.
Yeah,
you know.
man. Big shout out to Doc, man.
4th, I'll say Beast.
Oh yeah.
Of
Hey,
course,
Beast.
you know what I mean.
Mm.
And the 5th, I'm actually say Young Beast.
Young
Mm.
Beast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you say Young Beast? Just curious.
I'm gonna say that because when I was coming up in the game, he was one guy that was pioneering and blueprinting a lot of power moves.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Just because you may not be good at certain things doesn't mean you ain't a master at other things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
definitely.
You know, I'm gonna say it just because he real inspired me. And he was one guy that I was like, damn, this motherfucker's strong. He's real
Yeah.
strong. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say that. And I mean, it's hard. That's a question that it's always gonna be debatable. Just like
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
hip hop,
definitely.
just
That's why
like
we,
sports.
you know, it's your
Yeah.
pick and.
Because that's
for
why I
sure.
tell people all the time. It's everyone has a different definition. So no one can argue with your definition. Let's say today, I do every single set Zeph has done the same way. Am I a legend?
No.
Or I just followed everything he did. I didn't invent nothing. I just replicated everything he did. So, you know, back then, a lot of people, you know, Beast was the first one to do the elevator.
Yeah.
Young Beast was one of the first. I seen him do
One-arm
the
muscle up, I
one-arm
think,
muscle
yeah.
up.
Yep.
You know, dudes like Hannibal, dudes like...
Hannibal. I mean, you know, I'm gonna put Hannibal in there as well too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hannibal,
Yeah.
definitely.
I don't, you know, I seen, you know, interviews of him when I was coming up, and I definitely looked at him for certain things because for me, I wanted to study everybody, and I wanted
Right,
to
yeah,
pick
implement
apart
a little
what
bit, yeah.
I could use. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to take that, but I want to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
So I'm also going to say Hannibal as well, you know. But go ahead.
Okay, so it transitioning from back then to now. Like I said, back then, you know, your status or your fame was built on, like, you know, I'm the owner of this move, or this set came from me. This is a beast mode set, a barbarian set, a brotherhood set, etc. So now that we have more competitions and battles, it's more of your wins.
Of course.
Because, you know, back then, all you had was PUBG.
Of
You had
course.
the one competition every year.
Shout out to PUBG. Again.
So now it's more of the how much wins you get, how much battles you have done, because you know this is still a battle sport.
Of
To
course.
where you know someone can say, "Yo, Ice's pull-ups was trash," and you settle it on the bar. So what
Right.
up? See me right now.
Right,
so,
right.
So with the game, the way the game is now, as opposed to with the game that you studied, like which one would you say you're more of a fan of?
The old game.
The old days.
I'm gonna say, you know, 2009, 2010. You know what I mean? Just because now, you know, it's funny how you brought up the competing. It's like, you know, I've competed in one competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know, there's some, you know, because to me, like I said, you're only as good as who you beat. You know, you can compete in all these competitions, but if you ain't competing against nobody, like, well, what are you really doing?
Definitely.
You know, Zeph never competed ever. Does that
Make
so
them win.
so is he not a legend?
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And it's like you to be like, for me, greatness and legend, I don't know, like, you know, it's like it's an ongoing path.
It's
You know, you never just, all right, that's it. You know, you got to keep on improving, always be a student and get
Yeah.
better and better. But you know, you have to, you know, actually do something that is going to push the game forward.
Yeah.
You know, where even the strongest dude sits back and looks at it and is just like, oh shit, I gotta work.
Yeah.
Once you're at that level and you maintain that for fucking 20 20 years,
that's impressive.
then you could, you know, be at that top 5 table. But until then, you gotta keep working. You know what I mean? That's just what I believe.
Okay. So here's where we gonna get a little spicy now.
Okay.
I want to ask your opinion. Who's your top 5 female athletes right now?
Top 5
Female.
Okay.
Don't say Letty 5 times.
That's kind of hard because I don't. Okay. Female. I mean, okay.
Man.
Obviously, Letty, you know, she's definitely top 5. You know, because she definitely proved herself in the competitions out in the New York scene. I would like to see her compete overseas, because to me, that's where the real competition is.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But there's also some girls, a couple of girls out here. You know, Slimmers is real strong.
Oh,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Slimmers.
You know what I mean?
Slam.
She's real strong. You know, Dasha from
Oh,
Ukraine.
yes.
She, you know,
yeah.
she, you know, she was like.
Dasha.
Isn't she the first female?
She's the first.
She's
She's the
only.
first.
She's the only.
Yeah. She's the only female
Shout out to
barbarian.
Dasha, man.
Yeah, she was like doing 30 pull-ups at like 16, 15, like doing some crazy shit. You know what I mean?
Impressive, man. Very
I've never met her or like really interacted with her like that, but it's always respect if you a part of the team.
Of course.
And I don't know, I can't give another. Like I said, I don't. It's hard to say top 5 because I'm not gonna just say somebody to fill the top 5. Like
Yeah.
I gotta actually mean it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, you know, those 3 girls. I mean, but there's a lot of strong girls that I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't want somebody to be like,
Yeah,
oh man, you know what I mean?
Because there's a lot of girls now.
There's a lot of girls
that are popping up, coming out of nowhere.
For sure.
Definitely proving themselves.
Do you think that that's like, being that there are females out here who are actually like banging and putting in big numbers, do you think that that's good for the sport? Like it's gonna bring more females into the sport?
Of course. Just because, you know, a lot of people always have this thing where they're just like, oh man, I can't do pull-ups because I'm 6'2", or I'm like 250 pounds. And when they actually see people do it, like a Jomo, shout out Jomo.
Jomo.
Big
Jomo.
200-pound
Yeah.
tiger
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there, man.
You know, when they see guys like that do it, you know what I mean? Or like a guy like Reef. How tall is he? 6'11" or some shit? You know,
Yeah.
trying to, doing levers and shit, trying to, you know what I mean?
That's
Doing levers,
Word.
Reef. Shout
And
out.
Reef's like 250 too.
Yeah.
So you're saying it doesn't matter the size or
It
the...
doesn't matter. People
Right.
always gonna use that. You know, people are always gonna say
I
something.
respect that.
Like, oh, you could do 50 pull-ups or whatever just because, you know,
you're
you weigh that
short or-
much.
yeah, I hear you.
Exactly. So
we've heard that.
Exactly.
We've
So
heard that,
so girls come in the game, like everybody could do it. You know what I mean? Like everybody can master your own body weight. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. No doubt.
It's pretty much about putting in the time. So I know you guys, actually, you traveled with Zeph over the summer to Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
How was
That's-
that? Like, did you actually have jerk chicken and all of that?
Oh,
Like,
man,
tell us
I had-
about
I had
that,
the
man.
jerk
You had
chicken.
everything. I
I
saw
had-
your post.
I had
You
the
was
beef
going
patties.
in.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna get fat. You was going in.
Hey, I had some real. Hey, Jamaica was one spot where I was like, man, this shit is dope. You know, they had, because to me, like they had all the fresh fruit straight from the tree.
Yeah,
They had the best jerk
definitely.
chicken
Yeah.
with
Definitely.
the beef patties with the cocoa bread. They had everything. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
The
man,
real beef patty.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
real
it's-
joy. Yeah. I feel
but
you, man.
it was dope. Just to, like I said, Zev to me is one guy who changed my life, but it's a lot more because he brought me in, you know what I mean, and mentoring me now, and for me to go on vacation with him, his family, kids, it's real dope, and you can never take like moments like that for granted, you know what I mean?
That's love.
So it's love, man. His kids, my kids, and shout out to his family.
Yeah. No doubt. So
And
yeah.
shout out to Snoop's family, you know, because when I was out here last year,
Yeah.
they held me
yeah.
down for like 3-4
Oh,
months,
That's dope, man. That's real.
like no one else, and like I wasn't even cool with him like that.
Word.
It was just like, all right, man, you
Come
know,
through you, yeah.
you're a Going member. I'm trying to be a Going member, so I'm gonna do this for you. And yeah, man,
Shout out
real
to Snoop,
good.
man.
Shout out to
He never
Keita.
offered me no water when I came to his crib.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I want to touch on that a little bit because you know me, Shells, and Letty, we've been rocking with each other real heavy since day one. You know, we watch a lot of you guys.
Yeah.
You know, like I always say, I said this to Zeph all the time. There's always an intimidating factor when we first meet you guys. So to be able to call you our friends now or our comrades is very humbling.
Yeah.
So, you know, you was a guy that I always watched, you know, your swag, your confidence. So when you was coming to New York, you know, when I spoke to my wife about it, shout out to my wife Nikita.
Kita.
You know,
shout out Keita.
Like I was just like, I want this guy to stay with us and shit. And the only thing she said, I'm expecting to say, like, I don't know that motherfucker. He can't stay in my house.
Yeah,
But the only thing she was like, yo, make sure the house is clean. Like I don't want him thinking shit like
that's
like
love.
shit.
That's love.
So like you ended up staying for a while, whatever, and that was like one of the like most proudest moments that I've shared, because not only did we build a bond, but I learned so much in a short period of time because it was hands-on training, and it's like I've like shared it with the homies, like me and Letty have I say this all the time. Our reign in 2018 in New York was strictly off of what I learned from you and what I learned from Zeph. And
wow.
just pass the ball, and and that's something that can never be taken away, because like I said, I came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
2017, I haven't done anything. My first comp was January, so the anniversary is actually coming up next month. Insert plug for Boss Life's competition coming up at this part. So this was like exactly almost 1 year ago. I've never won any competition.
Wow.
Like Letty's been dogging since day one, so she don't count.
Injured.
Yeah.
But once she got a taste of, I'm like, yo, Ice taught me da-da-da, so she was like, word, let me get some of that. And then she just started beating girls by 2 reps to beating girls by 30 reps.
Yeah, and I'ma add this in, and you mentioned hands-on training. It makes the path, like for me, I'm so passionate about this because I was just like, fuck, like I had nobody to like ask for help, or yo, what am I doing here? Or when I plateaued,
I didn't see that when you were asleep too. You kind of like, you was like, yeah, this is like the little brother you wanted to pass this shit on.
I'm not gonna say,
but something like that.
But no, it's cool, and I could do that with like my guys back in Cali. I can really give them, it's like you're kind of giving them the blueprint, but they still gotta put in the work.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, it's like that's why I respect the old game.
Cause they had no blueprint.
And I mean, like, especially Zach, like I'm not even putting me in that category. Yeah. But like Zeph and all them, like these guys, like it's like you can't even think like.
So let me ask you this, right? So you had to pick somebody that you would love to see Zeph go against in the game. Anybody in the game.
Spicy.
Who do you think you would pick? Because I feel like you're one of the guys who actually you always put it out there that Zeph is like your biggest idol, mentor, everything, and I respect how you treat Zeph, and so that's why I asked, like, who would ISIS pick beat if you had to choose?
Oh man, I can't answer
Barbarians.
that. I can't answer that. I'm not gonna answer that.
You can't answer that.
You know why? Because all this is what if that. We ain't gonna see it.
Real talk, I'm training my son
to take out Z.
to take Z.
Hey, you know what? I told it. He was saying, he wants his son to do the belt. When I told him, I was like, hey, man, when he's ready, I'm gonna take him out. But
that's crazy.
Like, man. I can't answer that, man. But my money is always on Jordan. You know what I mean? So it don't even matter who it is. Like,
exactly.
Like, I don't even want to say guys' names because I don't even want to give them that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I respect it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep it Barbarians.
So another thing with Barbarians too is a lot of us, we see Zeph, and Zeph is definitely like the front of Barbarian, but like you have a lot of people behind the scenes too as well. Like Two-Face, man, big shout out to Two-Face.
Big shout out Andy.
Andy, you got Jude, man. Those guys, like those dudes are some very dope, humble dudes, and like. Tell us a little bit more about those guys and like their roles and stuff like that in Barbarians.
It was they like, to me, they're real good people. Like they never ever showed me any side where I was just like, all right, can I trust this dude? Like they always show me so much love, and I've traveled with them. We went on cruises. Like we went on a cruise this past year, and I met their family holding their kids, and that's. Like I said, that's you can't like get that back. You get what I'm saying? But Jude and Andy, they still training. You know what I mean? They, I know they want to kind of get that fire back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those guys, man, those some cool guys, man. Ever since I met them, like, you know, from day one, it's always been like cool.
Yeah, real
Super cool.
I mean, you know, real good advice, man. They've been around the game damn near for like since Zeph, so you know you could get so much wisdom from people like that, you know, because you got to experience things in life to actually give wisdom. You know what I mean? You can't just read a, you know, Instagram inspirational quote and then go out there and teach it. You got to actually go out there and preach it. You actually have to like live it.
I think it was like a few years back. I tried to follow you on IG because I was always hearing ICEWATER. I'm like, yo, I gotta see who ICEWATER is. So I followed you on IG. You never followed me back.
Oh, hey, no, don't take that. Don't take that personally. I'll follow you back now, though. I'll follow you back now.
So the reason why I said that is because, like, you know, a lot of people think that you're such a serious, unapproachable guy, and you're really not. You're hella cool. Like, the first time I met you in person, it was like, it was all love. I mean, you know, I don't know if you was high.
Nah.
I'm just kidding, but
even though Cali do got the best tree.
The reason why I say
shout out to the tree in Cali.
Josh in the back, like, yeah,
he looking for that. So the reason why I say that is because Barbarians gear said, tell us a funny experience with Barbarians, and also there was another comment saying they would love to see you and Zeph paired up on the belt. And we're gonna touch on a little bit of what the belt is to give people a little taste of what it is. But tell us a funny story about you with Barbarians family.
Oh man, come on! Tell Barbarians here. There's so many,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy because like okay, going back to me about being serious, like I don't post on Instagram just because I'm actually out there in real life doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Even though like for me, it's definitely the platform to go. Yeah. Like you gotta post if you want to get your followers up there. Yeah. But for me, I'm just like, man, like sometimes I'd rather just come out here like just every blue moon, just drop some dope shit. You know what I mean? Even though I do want to start posting more, but I'm not gonna just post more just because somebody told me. Like I don't want to be like everybody else. So I don't want to just keep putting just these random videos out there just to give people nothing. You feel what I'm saying? I want to really give them substance for sure.
Right.
And then going back to a funny experience with the, come on, man, that's a hard question. There's so many.
But that's
wait. I'm gonna say one fucking funny ass experience. I was actually with Zeph last year, or earlier this year, and we was at Wingate, and then there was a dude. There was one of the homies on the side bench pressing. We're outside chilling, and you know one of the dudes. He thought he could handle the weight. He fucked up and he dropped the weight right on his forehead.
Oh man!
And he damn near had like a Looney Tunes. It was just like.
The Wile E. Coyote
came up with the sound.
Like that was man. We have so much moments.
Y'all laughed in his face?
Definitely.
And I was laughing like fuck. I was getting everything on film and I missed that. So I was like, damn.
That's funny as hell.
But
man.
that was funny. Shout out to that dude. Like, you know, he definitely was fucked up
Shout
after
out
that.
to Cartoon Lump.
He was going like, oh man. But yeah,
that's funny, man.
Shout out to Cartoon Lump.
But that's so many experiences. Whoever, tell Barbarians that's too hard. You got to actually be a part of the family to
understand,
to even understand a fraction of like the brotherhood we have.
Inside jokes.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not, you know, you got to actually
be there.
So let me ask you this now. Do you think that? So I know you said that there's a lot of competition overseas.
For sure.
Do you think that Barbarians maybe will compete as a team, like kind of like us against Spain?
Yeah.
Oh, that Javi got to be on the spot.
No. Of course.
But like just an example of like
that's like the Olympics though.
Yeah, that's what like. So what do you think about like a calisthenics Olympics? Do you think that would be cool?
That's like the dream.
Calisthenics
Olympics. Like to me, like
where do you think the most competition, or your opinion on where do you think some of the most competition is at this very moment, like in the world with calisthenics?
I'm gonna be real. It's not in the U.S.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, as far as when people throw the competitions out here, they are getting better.
Right.
You know, but as far as like the comps in like Europe and just like is everywhere around you overseas, it's way more live because like where I'm from, nobody does calisthenics. Like it ain't popping like it is out here.
Yeah.
And everywhere else around the U.S. is just like that. You know, if you go to L.A., the freestyle scene is real big out there. you know. But to actually work out, like those dudes aren't gonna be able to hang. Like no offense, but it's like you're not gonna you know what I mean. But I'm not gonna give a specific place, but I am gonna say overseas. But you know, you got also a lot of guys taking who knows what they're taking. You know, 1 year they right here, and next year they're just like, man, how did you do that?
Back up.
So yeah, you were saying guys, you know, maybe taking enhancements, things like that. Go ahead, you were finishing up.
I'm just gonna, you know, I'm not. Hey, it's sports in general.
Hey, it is what
hey,
it
people
is.
people get caught.
Football players do it,
every
boxers
day.
do it,
All
so
the time.
it's still a sport. I get you.
Exactly, you know, so I would like to have like random blood urine testing on some like Mayweather Pacquiao shit. You know what I mean? Like,
What
so,
you done? I hear you, bro.
Niggas probably pissing neon
Yeah,
green.
you see-
yeah,
that
man.
green
But
ooze.
yeah, like but you know, I mean, as far as like doing those team battles, like a barbarian, you know, like I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that.
So is it usually only like strictly business when you guys go overseas, or do you guys have a little bit of playtime in there? The reason why I'm asking is because Barbarians Gear said to tell us a funny overseas story, because just to give us a little insight about how does it happen overseas? Is it all business, or you guys have fun and all that other stuff?
Hell yeah, we have so much. Man, why just keep asking? This is hard.
I'm giving the people what they want. That's all I'm doing.
What you want?
A funny overseas stories. Oh,
Like,
man.
maybe you guys
I
went
feel
to
so
get-
weak right now because I'm just blanking out.
Yeah, it's so much.
So
I
much.
can understand. Like maybe you guys going to get.
They
something,
gotta ask a certain
you can't
place.
speak English or something like that.
Oh yeah, it can't.
That happens
Man,
all
I
the
feel
time,
like
I'm pretty
I'm blanking
Yeah,
out. We gotta get back to that. I'm gonna get back to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. I can't.
I can't think of a funny.
Now, have you ever had any?
But New Zealand was the best trip, and I'm not gonna say why.
Okay,
But New
we'll
Zealand was the
save
best
that.
trip.
We'll save that. Do you?
But Andy and Zev know why. But that was the best trip.
New Zealand.
That was the best trip.
Gotta ask these guys about New Zealand now. So, have you ever had any? I would say, personal issues with like anyone in your team. I know you guys battle every day. Have you ever had any?
Of course.
How did that play out? I mean, I've always said I respect people who bang it out, shoot the fair, whatever, and get back to being brothers. How did that play out for you?
Yeah, like for me, when I joined the Barbarians, I got into this into a WhatsApp group where I got to interact with all the other people, and when I got in there, I was just like, all right, man, like I'm not gonna just let people think I'm just like some guy coming in. I'm gonna make a fucking I'm gonna make my presence be known.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for me,
Kick in the
I
double
was-
wave in the fofo.
I brought this confidence, but you have to realize like preparation, it gives you confidence. So I'm not gonna just say something if I'm not actually doing
Exactly.
Right.
it. So I was so we got into a lot of heated arguments, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, looking back at it now, it's all love, and we're gonna continue to get in arguments. That's what families
Families
do.
do, yeah.
Yeah, some of my closest friends, like if I can't fight you and be cool, we not friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time before we met you, because we didn't, like in this calisthenic world, we see a lot of people talking. So a lot of people like, gee, I could do this, I could do that, with no footage. So unfortunately, I'm just telling my personal story. I'm like, yo, this ice dude is not that strong. Son. I never heard of him. This don't make no sense.
Hey, you
So
wildin'.
like couple dudes, like we all alpha males. A couple dudes do they shots or some stuff. You ain't about it. So it just turned into like, yo, I'm gonna see you at Pup J. Son. Wait till Pup J go. But he was talking so crazy. I'm like, yo, we gonna be brawling in Lincoln.
And it was beef. Like when I got there, I thought I was like, damn, I feel like I'm gonna get into it with somebody.
Yeah, 'cause
I was
I'm
like, hey,
yo,
man,
this guy's wildin'.
But it's all
show was
love,
crazy,
man. It's
man.
just
That-
But then when we met each other, it was just on some.
Hey, man, you better stop
You cool.
playing.
Nah, you cool.
Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
backed it the fuck up.
Yeah, that's
Motherfucker
crazy,
did
man.
80 dips straight.
I think you did a 40 clip straight on the bar at Pub J2.
And then
Yeah.
he said those was just bad numbers.
And the weird part is you and Jude, I think, were like the two that went at it, because Jude had the high number. You're Jude.
Oh, Filipino.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And then Ice got on there mad calm. I'm like, this guy right
He put
here,
up the
man.
highest number I've ever seen and got on the bar like, fuck, damn, my number
Yeah.
was whack.
You
I'm
like, what?
nigga, what?
What you talking about?
What you talking?
Let me get half of
borrow-
that.
Yeah, let me borrow half, son. I'm good for
You
it.
know what I mean? Like, that's crazy,
I'm
man.
up there with my little slow joints.
But that's good. That's good for progress, man. I feel like that's dope. What do you think would make the New York scene, as far as competition wise, better? Like, what do you think will improve it, to make it, you know,
form, like quality.
okay?
Mm.
So
You know,
you
so-
say pretty much like reffing and like how people.
Yeah, you know,
ref and- okay.
yeah, you know, it's like you got like,
Coaching and repping.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's because it's like even, you know, if two guys are competing and one guy is just doing like half reps and he's, you know, winning, like how does that even work? Like, you know, if
Exactly.
like for me, I want everything to be fair. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like everything has to be on an even level playing field at all times. You know what I mean? And
So
And-
Q made a dope point last week of
Shout
trying
out
to
to Q.
implement like
Q.
yeah, shout out to
Shout out
Quincy.
Q.
He like, you know, trying to implement like a referee system, like almost like a mini schooling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, the NBA has refs who are licensed referees, things like that. Because, you know, we just appoint dudes. Like, it's like a volunteer system. Like, oh, you want to ref? Cool. You never did a push-up before? Fuck it. You'll learn.
Yeah.
It's push-ups.
yeah,
So, you know, like us trying to take the sport, not even just New York, like, you know, Cali, everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, as far as trying to, what's going to make the game more strict overall?
You guys can send in questions, by the way. If you guys want to make comments, send it in, by the way. Go right on ahead. Yeah.
yeah. I agree with what he said as far as like, you know, having real refs. But I mean, will it happen? I think so. I remember like 8 years ago, people were talking about that, and it still hasn't happened. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think, I mean, you have to realize, you know, calisthenics is still very underground, even though
It's
it's
still
like
young,
blowing
yeah.
up.
Mhm.
But you have to
Yeah.
look at like skateboarding, right? Skateboarding, it's finally gonna be in the Olympics 2020, in the
I
2020
didn't know that.
Olympics.
Really?
Yeah, like.
Wow.
In the
So-
Olympics, wow.
So
yeah,
imagine
that's-
like, you know, guys
yeah,
like Tony Hawk, like, you know, like imagine how many gold medals he would have won.
Yeah. and
So this shit could take
that's
years
crazy,
and years.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
You know, and but I think as far as the US scene, like you got a lot of guys winning certain competitions and certain titles, and they think they're the champ because they got a belt, and I'm like, come on, man, that fake WWF belt don't make you a champ. Like you know what I
I
mean?
feel you. I feel you.
And
Respect
no shot, but I'm just like, come on, like for me, I'm not gonna say I'm the best in the world. Like you actually have to compete, you know, against the best in the world. But
Yeah.
and that is like for me, like I would never put myself like, oh man, I'm the best, because I actually wanna like say that in like 10 years.
Okay.
I can say
Yeah.
that in 10, 15 years and be like, man,
Yeah, because
I'm still here.
Yeah.
So is it
I'm
safe
still
to
here.
say that we're probably gonna maybe see Icewater with a belt? Like, is Icewater gonna take a belt? What are we gonna see going
I
on
mean,
here?
hey,
What
if
are
somebody,
we-
hey, I mean, I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not calling anybody
No,
out.
no,
man.
no.
At the end of the day, like, I'm my own biggest competition. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because I was doing calisthenics before I even knew what it was.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
for my own personal reasons, not to get any type of fame. You know, it just so happens I met, you know, these guys, Barbarians, and now traveling, doing workshops and shit like that. But like, and that's why I don't post on Instagram, because I want to show everybody, like, I don't care about the likes, man. Like, I really do this for the fucking for life.
Do you believe in on-spot battles? Like, let's just say, you know, someone says, "Yo, Ice, what's up with that 5MD?" Battle
Oh
me."
man, oh yeah,
Those
oh
those
yeah.
ones.
And for me, like,
Have you
I'm
ever
always
had
ready
that
for that.
first?
Have you
I'm
ever had anybody
Have you ever
like,
had one?
like call you
Call
out?
you
Let's just
out.
say, you know what? I ain't like your pull-ups on the 50 clip, man. Nah, you didn't go high enough. You was doing them neck to bar joints. You was doing the nose to bar.
we gotta talk about pull-ups.
I wanted to talk about that too. That's why we got into this.
Yeah,
But go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Tell us your
Segue.
Beep it.
Yeah. Oh man, like to me, like I would rather us be at a park battling than doing this whole like, all right, most pull-ups in 2 minutes. Like that's easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I wanna
Gotcha.
actually work out with you. Working out with somebody, you can actually gauge them. You know, you can't really look off somebody's strength. You know, IG strength. You know, there's IG strong and then there's real life
It's real.
strong.
Those voice.
I hear you on that, brother. So as far as like you were gonna touch on pull-ups, now you've always talked about like form and like quality over quantity. So do you think a lot of 50 clips that you've seen out there, or even 40 clips, how would you like gauge those? Not to take anything away from anyone.
Yeah.
just
I'm
your,
not.
you know,
I'm not
your
trying to
take on it.
compare my
Yeah,
like
never.
at all. Like, please, like I'm not. But you know, I mean, to me, a pull up is full lockout, chin over the bar.
Right.
But just because somebody is locking out, it doesn't make it clean.
Gotcha.
You know, to me, and like when somebody has like that control, to me that makes it a clean pull up. You get what I'm saying? And you actually have to experience that, because this year, like, I'm actually pulling different than I've ever have.
Right,
and that's from a long layoff. And
Yeah.
it just happens. You know, sometimes when you progress, like, at least from my experience, like, it just happens. You know, I'm not just like, I'm just like, one day I got in a bar and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
no, I feel
form,
different.
yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm pulling better and I have more control, you know, and I'm more aware of like my breathing, my just everything, you know.
Technique and everything.
But you know, a lot of guys, like, you know, a lot of guys doing the chin to bar, and that's something that I don't like. You know, like for me to respect somebody, like I wanna like you gotta do it how it's supposed to be done. You know, but different.
Nah, you tell us.
But
I'm listening.
but there's different form for
Yeah.
different routines. You know, and I like I get into this with like even some of my like Barbarian brothers. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, to each his own, and we all have different training styles.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's it. You know, like longevity is the
Name of the game.
game. So that's
Yep.
it.
Now
So go ahead, lady. I'm
Now
sorry.
going back to the battling, the competing, who for 2019, who would you like to see go against each other? What opponents, what athletes do you want to see
Great
out
question.
there that maybe either you haven't seen or you have seen?
Yeah, not even just you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Okay.
you
Yeah.
as a fan. Who
Yeah.
we like to do like
I'm
matchups.
gonna say, you know, I would like to see, you know, Sergio and Sai get their rematch.
Oh yeah.
That was a great matchup,
Okay.
by the way. That was in Italy last year, right?
Yeah.
I wanna see them get the rematch, but with better judging.
Who your money on though?
My money,
Yes.
Sergio, 100%.
Got you.
That's a given. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, like the judging, because even if somebody has weights on, like you can't, like the form still got to be up to par. You can't just be doing
Definitely.
half push-ups, half dips. You can't be doing the dolphin dips. You can't, you know what I mean? Like the form got to be there. You know.
That's
At the end of
respectable.
the day, it's like, you know, I didn't compete last year, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? But I hope I could compete if I'm healthy. But it's like, for me, it's like I don't know, man. Like I can care less about it, you know, because I'd rather.
You have to prove them to yourself, kind of thing, versus to prove.
Yeah,
something
man.
kind
Yeah,
of-
hell yeah. It's like if people want to like battle me or something, like you call me out. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna call anybody out.
Yeah.
But people want to see me battle so much or whatever, like, then, you know, when you see me, we could do a routine. I mean, I don't know, that's, you know, but I would love to compete. But, you know, by the end of the day, you know, it's hard when you know, Zeph recruited the strongest dudes in the world
Yeah,
from
yeah,
one
we
team.
gonna
It ain't
compete
fair.
against. We
It
gonna
ain't
compete
fair.
against.
Like, that's why for me, I would have never been a Barbarian if I didn't meet Zeph. Because I remember back in the day, one of my old homies, he did Kung Fu. Shout out Jones. But he did Kung Fu, and we would train together. And he would show me certain techniques he implemented, that I implemented with my training. And he was always telling me, he's like, don't join the best team. He's like, because then it's not going to be fun.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
And that's why I'm just like, oh man, like I'm still learning how to be a team player and not just always try to be like, nah, it always got to be about me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's one struggle that I do have.
Did you watch wrestling back in the day?
Oh, of course. Stone Cold, always. Stone
Yeah,
Cold.
Oh.
so the way I
Hell
look
yeah.
at it, the way I look at
Yeah,
it
hell
is
yeah.
basically like Z is Vince McMahon. You know, he had WWF, then he bought WCW,
And then said, bring
but
your
still
asses.
had them going at it. Cause you know
Yeah.
the Susus are everyday
Competition,
battles. You feel me? That's
Mhm.
like I remember working out with Star, with Jomo. They on some, get the fuck out of here. You in the red room. You playing
Yeah, of course. Shout out Orange Room.
Blue room over here, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, it's like, even though we the strongest, we still have legit beef
Yep.
with these rooms. Especially when he started giving out, like, you know, when we get into comp mode, everyone still wants those bragging rights.
So outside of Barbarians, right? Who do you think like would be like a decent team that you would kind of like gauge you guys closely against? And I know you're probably gonna say Barbarians the strongest, but you gotta pick somebody, bruh. Who do you think?
Oh man,
in your
I really
opinion?
can't answer that.
Right.
Because I don't know, man. It's like it's like, come on, man. Like,
Oh, man.
I don't. People gotta prove themselves.
I respect it.
You know what I mean? Like, and for me to like respect somebody, I respect everybody as men, but as like athletes and as like real elite calisthenic artists, like you have to prove yourself. And me, I'm still proving myself. I'm hungrier than ever. I'm not, you know, I don't want to talk about what I did like yesterday or last week. I might do. Wait till you see me do this. Wait till you see me do this.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I respect that.
And that like, you know, pushes the game forward as far as like, you know, I lost train of thought.
Yeah. So basically, just in closing now, because we coming up on our time. I just wanna, you know, this year there's a lot of things coming up. You know, you're scheduled for your surgery in January, so you know, obviously we have competition coming up in January. We have February. We have March. And, you know, we still have the undisclosed. Shout out to my boy Pierre Overbar, who's out in Italy. Them boys, Italy is turning into
the battleground.
Like the Super Bowl
Crazy,
competitions, right? Like everyone from around the world.
Nice.
So, you know, if it's scheduled later on, hopefully that's where, you know, ICE can be re-unleashed into the wild. You feel me? Like that's what we all want to see. I'm going. I'm personally going because I want a front row seat with my gelato.
Oh yeah,
and I want to sit right under the ball and enjoy the show. Hopefully, Letty's out there too,
Oh,
chasing them wings.
You already know.
And like, you know, is that something that's in your like plans? Because, you know, like let's say this competition is in August or so, it gives you time to recover, get to it, and like I said, all the strongest people in the world are meeting in Europe.
Yeah. I mean, so, of course, man, because you know me best. You know what I mean. And for me, it's like I wanted to like take the man. I don't want to compete in like you know real competitions, but we could work out the next day on some underground shit. That I love that to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like y'all could have the trophies, you could have the belts. But at the end of the day, I want you to be like, yo, you know the real champ.
You don't want a belt. Come on, Ice. I know you want one of the belts.
Hey, I would love a belt, but I mean, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's hard. Like first things first, I gotta get healthy. I gotta actually train the way I train. Like, you know, it's very frustrating not to be able to do a lot of things that, you know, you used to do.
Listen, man, Ice, it was a pleasure having you on, man. It was a pleasure getting a lot of your insight. A lot of people, you know, weren't fully aware of who you are, and I hope people got, you know, a little bit more of an idea of who you are now, what to look ahead for in the near future and stuff like that. And I just want to ask you this: who do you think is a good matchup for Zeph?
Who is a good matchup?
I'm just kidding. We asked that already. We just joking, but yeah.
Who do you think? Who do y'all think?
Honestly, no one has to take my opinion for anything.
Let's save that. Let's save that for when we get Zeph on the show.
We get Zeph on the show.
Yeah, hey, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. Like you know, you ain't. I don't know. You ain't beating Zeph. Like not you, but I'm saying like.
I know I'm not beating Zeph. I'm not trying to battle Zeph.
Or whoever battles Zeph.
But hey, you know what? I was like, hey, me being like a young gun, I would like. I always try to push Zeph when I work out with him, you know. A guy like Keno, always be pushing Zeph.
Big shout out to Keno, man. That guy, big ass arms, man. He beat his arms separately.
How we forget Keno,
and he's a vegan too, and they say vegans
can't get
But yeah, we definitely want to thank you for coming out here.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a pleasure.
You've always shown mad love from when I first met you. Me and you've been talking for a minute.
Yeah, for sure.
You came. The first time I met you was earlier this year. You came out here, share some knowledge with me and shit. So
always.
You always been dope. So thank you.
Appreciate that. Likewise.
East to West Coast spreading love, son.
Word.
That's
I'm trying to be on some pop shit out there and just like
Nah, but definitely
Shout out
wanna
Tupac.
appreciate you coming to the show, man. You know, this is our first official one, and I couldn't think of a better person to have on the show.
Man, that's honorable.
You know,
Thank you,
you're
bro.
a personal inspiration to us three.
Big time
we watch you,
inspiration,
we'll
man.
follow you to the end, bruh. And thank you for gracing us with your presence, man.
Yo,
First
man.
episode of Open Bar.
Shout
Open
out
bar.
to
Man.
man.
Thank you guys. Shout out to the behind the scenes guys, Josh.
Prime
Word.
Focus
Josh and
Photography, Uncle
Yes,
Josh.
man. Hopefully it was a good show
And
for you guys.
thank you for the people
You know,
that was
thank you
watching.
guys.
Give
We
us some
appreciate
feedback,
tuning
y'all.
in.
Who y'all want to see on the next one? Who y'all
Word.
what y'all topics y'all want talked about?
Definitely.
You know, we'll
appreciate
make
the
our best to
feedback.
make it happen.
Facts.
Thank you guys, man.
Peace
Hopefully it was
out.
good.
Night.
Yep.
And print.
Open bar.
Open bar.